okay, but I want to just point out something pretty miraculous. You are in a room with like over 50 people in it that are all listening to one another in like a collective thing, and you have a voice that like is gonna be in conversation with me, and that shit is fucking magical, actually. Like, there's a reason that I am going to be traveling this country for the next 3.5 months to sit in rooms like this, and that's because it's magical. So what I want you to do is just experiment with the size of your voice real quick before the next poem that I do for you. I'm gonna count to 3, and when I count to 3, I want you to cheer like Gandhi just took over Focus on the Family. Does that feel like something you can do for me tonight? I want you to pretend the military took that mountain that's got that huge weird fortress buried inside of it and decided to make it into a food bank. Does that sound like something we can act like just happened? We're going to pretend it into being real for just a fraction of a second. So Gandhi, Focus on the Family, they have a press release that says, "Man, I'm sorry we were jerks." That's what we want to imagine happening in the world, okay? On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. That felt really good to hear. As it happens, I'm a firm believer. Like, I'm part of, like, what I'm doing right now is traveling the country, doing this work, and it's because I believe that that energy, that thing that we come together and make, is the thing that makes progress actually happen. So what I want you all to do, whatever else you take from tonight, take that sound and the fact that you have the capacity to make that sound with other humans and move it through the world, because that shit's why we do what we do and why we're here tonight. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you, Luke, for organizing this incredible evening. It's really wonderful. I have a book called Lucky Girl. The reason it's called Lucky Girl is not because the shit that's happened is lucky, but it is fucking lucky to survive. Does anybody else feel like survival is a lucky thing? Yeah! Hallelujah! Alright, so this poem is a thing that I feel like lots of people have felt survivable in. It is called The Breakup, or How to Move into a House That Is on Fire. There's a little bit of familiarity there, huh? Okay, wait. Alright, so The Breakup, or How to Move into a House That Is on Fire. As the first billows of smoke start to seep out of the basement's half-buried windows, curling as vines would along the latticework of the back porch and reaching to envelop the roof, you should take some time to appreciate the paint choice the previous owners left you with. Admire the handiwork of shingle on shingle, the delicate gingerbread that disguises the gutters. Arch your neck back to take in the turrets and bay windows. Think of how lucky you are to be making your home here, in this beautiful house that is being consumed by flames. Climb the front steps. Reach for the door, whether or not its metal knob might cook your flesh, and walk in. Hang the curtains you sewed yourself by hand in that front room that you hope will be your office. The wallpaper browning with the rising heat. Then close the door behind you as you leave them to ignite, your mind busy daydreaming about the desk and typewriter that will go perfectly in that space. The opus you will write there if you can just get the furniture delivered before the whole thing burns down. Shelve each book you own just as the wood beneath it begins to smolder. Place all of the novels you haven't gotten to yet but long for on the highest possible tier. Then walk out of the library the way you'll wish you could remember it. Before the haze of soot and flutter of half-eaten pages, it would have been the most beautiful place to hide. The best-kept secret in this town. Stock your kitchen like you were living with a chef. Listen to the bright shatter of each picture frame you hung yourself in the hallway as the inferno consumes each of them and advances, hungrier still. Treat it like a hit song playing on the radio when the living room mantle splits open. The fireplace transformed into a gaping wound, belching cinders while you're still stacking plates. Stow the perishables in the freezer. Wonder if they'll last, or be consumed like the rest of this. Pretend that you will pluck them from the earth when this is over and eat as an emperor in the ruins of his doomed capital. Don't bother unpacking your clothes. You will never really be at home here. The floorboards are all pitch and buckle in your bedroom. The plaster walls are crumbling behind licking curtains of flame, and this is when you should throw your arms around your suitcases and cower. The entire structure you've been relying on collapsing on top of and beneath you. This is when you'll realize you've sacrificed the dearest parts of yourself as kindling. And all it did was make the inevitable burn hotter as it all goes black. Maybe you'll pray you've not been outfitting a funeral pyre. Just another place to crawl out of. And when it is finished, and you've reclaimed yourself from the rubble, and everything you've known and loved is ash, or tears, or the cement they mix into, let it be okay to say, I honestly did not see that coming. And no, it is a lie. Let it be okay that you must have known better, but you still need to mourn. Forgive yourself for thinking, I really wanted that to work. I really thought it could.